Good morning. This is KELOLAND on the go with all you need to know in news and weather as you start your day.
The suspect in a Dakota Dunes murder is back in South Dakota. Alfredo Castellanos Rosales is behind bars at the Union County Jail in Elk Point. He's a suspect in the murder of 23-year-old Jordan Beardshear. She was killed at her Dakota Dunes apartment on April 25th. Family members say Castellanos Rosales is the father of Beardshear's one-year-old child. Castellanos Rosales fled the United States and was arrested in Mexico last month.
Well, no one likes waiting in long lines to go through airport security, but this week that patience paid off in a big way in Sioux Falls. A loaded handgun that was reported stolen was found in a backpack at the TSA checkpoint at the Sioux Falls Regional Airport on Tuesday.
This is the fourth gun detected by TSA in Sioux Falls this year alone, and last year they confiscated 9 guns at the checkpoint. It shows that the work TSA agents are doing is keeping people safe.
They do a great job. They have a great staff out here, always working hard to keep everybody safe. Keeping those weapons out of the airport would be our biggest piece of advice. If you bring it in, they will find it, and then law enforcement will be involved from that point.
While there are local charges, there may also be federal charges based on the outcome of the investigation. Passengers are permitted to travel with firearms in checked baggage if they are unloaded, packed separately from ammunition in a locked hardback case, and declared at the airline check-in counter. Investigators are looking into what caused a fire at a house on Lake Mitchell last weekend.
Steve Brink and his girlfriend were in the process of moving in when they got a call telling them their house was on fire. For Peggy, it's deja vu.
This happened to me 20 years ago when I was living in Elkton. The house that we lived in at that time burnt down due to an electrical issue. So, you know, it's kind of like all that comes back to you, but yeah, I just knew what it was going to look like, I guess, and knew everything that I had was in here, was in this house. And all I had was my phone and the clothes that I was wearing.
Steve lost some of his belongings. Peggy lost everything. For now, they are renting Steve's old house in Salem. There is a GoFundMe. We've attached a link to it under this story on KELOLAND.com. Investigators in Rapid City are looking into what sparked a fire on a railroad bridge over Rapid Creek. Authorities say it happened around 2:30 Thursday morning near Steele Avenue and East Omaha Street.
The Rapid City Fire Department shared these pictures of the scene. You can see the center of the bridge was in flames. Crews could be seen using a ladder truck to battle the blaze. It took nearly 3 hours to extinguish the fire.
Now let's send it over to meteorologist Brian Karstens for a check of this morning's weather. Finally seeing some rain, Brian.
Yes, some rain. Boy, that's a big subject today. Let's take a look at how things have been playing out here during the overnight and now into the early morning hours. We've had these clusters of showers and thunderstorms kind of rolling down from Mobridge. Either side of Aberdeen has had rain the past 24 hours. Huron, you've intercepted some of these thunderstorms, and so has Sioux Falls. Sioux Falls, middle part of town, is about 0.4 to 0.6 of an inch. There's less rain on the east side, but southwest toward T. And look at Lincoln County, Lenox, down to just southwest of Canton. There's some decent rain. Not the whole county, though, is it? Even Turner County, that's another example of some gaps where the rains are kind of light out there near Parker. And then you can go west of Parker, and then you'll find out there's more rain. So if you've caught an inch of rain, like some of these communities would suggest on Viper, I'm sure you're very thankful for that, especially in the drought and the flash drought conditions we've had. Canastota, Marion, let's try to fill in some of that. We do have additional chances of rain coming our direction the next 24 hours. There's the big view. You can see that line that kind of goes from Mobridge to Huron. So that's where we're at. Now, the forecast today, we're going to try to warm things back into the 80s for a lot of us. It looks like we'll prime the atmosphere for additional scattered rain, and we'll talk details coming up.
Thank you, Brian. One look at Falls Park will give you an idea of how the dry conditions have been impacting eastern South Dakota.
The falls have slowed dramatically from just a couple of months ago. Yet even if our dry spell lasts indefinitely, local tourism officials don't think it will have an impact on attendance.
That little trickle of water might get smaller, and I think people are still going to come. They're just going to see something other than what they've seen in pictures.
Park visitors we spoke with say they enjoy seeing the rock formations that are exposed by the low flow of water. Sioux Falls Animal Control is warning people to be out on the lookout for bats. 3 of them have tested positive for rabies this year. Usually we only have 1 or 2 a year.
Animal Control is asking people to make sure their pets are up to date on their rabies vaccinations. A Sioux Falls couple had bats in their home a few years ago.
The concern is that, they can bite. We certainly don't want them around the kids doing that, but I also have a wife that's petrified of them, and I don't want to be scared. I don't want to feel like, we're being held hostage by these bats either.
Danny and his wife had their home bat-proofed by a company that specializes in bats. Earlier this week, the Human Rights Campaign declared a state of emergency for the LGBTQ+ community in the United States.
It comes as Sioux Falls Pride prepares for its parade and festival. Sioux Falls Pride says they will be hosting the festival on private property with private security.
We have a really great relationship with the city. We have a really great relationship with the Sioux Falls Police Department. We have a really great relationship with an outside security firm that we hire for the festival as well. And nothing that we've heard from our end has caused us to be on any kind of alert.
The parade will start at 10 o'clock tomorrow morning at the intersection of 8th Street and Main Avenue and ends at 8th and Railroad. That's a look at some of our top stories.
Now let's get one last look at your weather with meteorologist Brian Karstens. Brian?
Okay, well, as we start off Futurecast and looking ahead to what's coming up this weekend, weather-wise, we do, of course, have additional chances of rain. We're watching what has been going on here from basically north-central South Dakota. These clusters of thunderstorms have been roaming, and we do expect there'll be more flare-ups here coming up through the afternoon. So kind of be aware of that. Again, this is scattered rain. Where it's not raining, it's probably mid-80s to around 90 in central South Dakota. It has been quite a bit hotter the last couple of days in central Kettle-Land. Notice your uptick in thunderstorms, too, in western South Dakota. That's playing out in our Rapid City forecast. I do think still there's going to be some of the grouping here on Futurecast, primarily maybe a little south of Sioux Falls this evening, but we have variable data on that still, so there's still some chances some of this can still come in a little bit better for Sioux Falls for the early evening. So again, take what you can get. In a drought pattern like what we've had the past several weeks, the rain is helpful. Saturday, I would say south of Interstate 90 is your best chance of new showers and thunderstorms. Outside of that region, they'll be more isolated or scattered. And then by Sunday, we're into cooler weather. We're definitely cooling things down early next week. Mid-80s today, Sioux Falls, 80 degrees in Brookings, 80 in Watertown. Forecast lows tonight with the scattered showers and thunderstorms will be in the low to mid-60s. And then tomorrow, we'll pick up the rain chance again. The best chances of new development in the afternoon and evening will be in the south. And then once that exits, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, dry spell again. It starts off relatively cool, but it'll start warming. We'll get back to the mid-80s again. I think we're pretty much settled on that assumption right now. Aberdeen also back to middle 80s, maybe upper 80s by Wednesday and Thursday. So the chance of rain too. It's the same thing. Nice to catch some moisture while we can. Here, central South Dakota, we're going to pick up good chances of rain today. I think another opportunity tomorrow, but it's better in western South Dakota tomorrow. 80% chance of rain in Rapid City, where it's only 69, 72 on Sunday. So it's been cooler in the Black Hills, and we have good opportunities for that to continue. Check out more details with your forecast online at kettleland.com.